Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we have a little bit of a traffic jam of blush. That's right, like a blush crush. I've had some blushes. They're all recent releases, but I couldn't quite fit them into all those end of the year holiday videos and countdowns, and I didn't really know where to make them fit with all the really kind of big deal new releases, and they just sat there. But they're still relatively new, and their formulas are interesting. So today's video is less about shade choice and more about blush formula, namely a few new ones from Jones Road, Bobbi Brown's brand, something very kind of crazy and a little TikTok-y from Tarte, and of course this Pinker Times Ahead release that came with the release from Too Faced. Very interesting, our most interesting formula. And we're going to talk about all of those and try them all on. I really want to speak to you about the formula. But first, you know, the holidays are gone. They're way behind us. Christmas, what's that? New Year's? Huh? It's time for Valentine's Day, one of my favorite holidays of the year. I can't help but be a hopeless romantic about it. And when you think Valentine's Day, you think, yeah, well, you think chocolate. I know, but you'll also think flowers, namely roses. So I wanted to talk to you about my friends from Rose Forever. No, this is not sponsored. This is from my heart. So last year, Rose Forever made me this lovely pink rose bouquet that I've kept on my set in a place of honor. And it's holding up great. Look how beautiful it is, and it still smells delightful. Well, gosh darn it, if they didn't contact me and tell me that they were making me a new bouquet. And here it is, this time in pink velvet. Oh my gosh, look! Oh, look at those roses, and they smell delightful. I didn't even think I needed a new bouquet, but they spoiled me with giving me this. And they have given me a code for you because, you know, Valentine's Day is the day that you gotta get flowers, even if it's just for yourself. I mean, I have no one to impress. I don't mind buying flowers for myself. And if you're anything like me, you'll want to get them either to or from someone you love or for yourself. So down below, I have included a link to shop everything from Rose Forever. Plus, you get $25 off if at checkout you use my code NOTFitForPrintBeauty25. That's right, NOTFitForPrintBeauty25 gives you 25 buckaroos off a beautiful Rose Forever bouquet. Last year I got this one with the black velvet, and this year its little replacement is pink velvet. And there's also clear casing now, square, round, any color rose you want. They are amazing. Plus they are lovely people, and it is so kind of them to spoil me with this new bouquet and to spoil you with my code for $25 off. But also, since Valentine's Day is approaching this month, and I think into next February as well, you can get take advantage of the special Valentine's Day sale of 60% off. So there's savings all over the map here, and I encourage you to go check it out and spoil yourself or someone you love with flowers. All right, let's talk about some blushes. Namely, as I told you guys, these blushes, we're really interested more in formula. We'll look at the shades in two different lights, but we're really more interested in formula. So when I reviewed the Pinker Times Ahead Too Faced eyeshadow palette, we were all talking about the blush, and it came out a little bit later in 6 different shades, and I picked up one shade because I was really curious about this formula. So this is the Too Faced Cloud Crush Blurring Blush. Say that 10 times fast. I picked up the shade Velvet Crush, but it's less about the shade and more about the formula. This is $29. It is a pressed powder satin matte, and it is supposed to give a second skin feel. You've got to stick around for the demo on this one. It's a very interesting formula and a blurring effect, and that it does. My only drawback, and really there's only one, and it's minor, is that darn it if they didn't put a scent in. This one is described as a tropical scent. Yeah, it is tropical. It's kind of like if coconut and pineapple had a blush baby. It is not very strong, and it does dissipate quickly, but I have to let my allergy and migraine sufferers know that it is in there. It's not too bad. I wish it weren't there, but it's such an interesting formula. Stick around for the demo. I want you to see me apply this. It's super interesting. Then the other really interesting thing, and I've heard some of you even talk about this. Have you seen this? Maybe if you watch TikTok, this was kind of a sensation. It's still new though. This is the Tarte Energy Skintuitive Blush. It only comes in this one kind of bubblegum pink shade. And the idea behind this blush is just like those Winky Lux or even Tom Ford, frankly, color changing pH balanced lipsticks. Charlotte Tilbury had one a few seasons ago. And basically what they do is they supposed to adjust their pink shade to your skin tone. We'll talk about that during the demo. Is it marketing hooey or is it really something that's significant? Blush looks different on different skin tones anyway. But this one comes in this bright pink shade and we'll see what we think of it on the skin. I mean, it's a pretty blush, but it's also a gimmick, let's be aware. And then really out of kind of the very simple, everyday, typical minimal Bobbi Brown style, Jones Road has their best blush is what Bobbi Brown is calling it. And I picked up, there's 5 shades of that. And I picked up 2. I picked up this kind of peachy and rosy shade. These are $28 each and they are just a very kind of typical, pretty, blendable blush. And we're going to try them all on in the demo. Let's first go to some very quick swatches I did. I filmed this video already without the microphone on. Do you know how frustrating that is? So I just used those swatches that I had done. So let me just show you them real quick. We start with Bobbi Brown and the peach. That's Jones Road. I can't separate it from the woman. And then the rosy shade. And then we have the Skintuitive Tarte Energy Blush, which, only comes in that one shade. And then the Too Faced Cloud Crush Blurring Blush. Let's try that again. The Too Faced Cloud Crush Blurring Blush in the shade Velvet Crush. Less about the shade, more about the formula. But to really see what these particular shades look like, here we have them outside in the warm California sunshine in between rainstorms here in California, which you might have been hearing about on the news if you're from somewhere else. We've had a lot of rain. We are building arcs around here. All right, now that we've taken a look at those, I want to show you me trying them on because, like I said, less about the formula here. I could have done a montage, but when I do my montages for blushes, they're like those Patrick Ta bright reds and purples, and this is less about shade and more about formula, and I want to chat with you guys about that formula. So while you watch the demo, I am going to sit here with my new bouquet, smelling all of my lovely Rose Forever Rose goodness. Stay right there. Okay, we have 3 blush formulas here in 4 different shades. And we're just going to do 1-1, wash it off, and 1-1. Remember, though, more about formula than shade here today. So not really a montage-y type video with fun shades. I brought a bunch of Wayne Goss brushes over, and we're going to start with Wayne Goss number 2 and this lovely Too Faced product that promises to blur. And it's an interesting formula. This one is our most interesting formula. So let me tell you a little about it as I put it on. If you haven't tried this yet, first of all, there is that burst of scent. Now, because this lays almost on top of the skin in a good way, almost like a cloud that covers up any pores or any problems with the skin. I'm going to exaggerate this so you can see it a bit. There's a kind of normal amount, and I'm going to exaggerate it. Because it does that, this almost acts like a very highly pigmented eyeshadow, meaning that wherever you put your brush first is where it will be the darkest. It doesn't disperse as much like these fluffy kind of very powdery blushes that would be a typical formula. And the interesting thing about this is, like I said, it lays over, and if you feel your face, so this side of my face has nothing on it, and this side has this new Cloud Crush blush. It feels soft and velvety as opposed to this side, which just feels like my skin with some foundation on it. This has almost a slickness, like something is veiling and laying over my skin, not like a powder, but a smoothness. And that's very interesting. And that is why it hides texture and pores and things of that nature. So if you do worry about that on your own skin, this would be a really nice blush formula for you to try. Again, not even meaning the shade, but just the formula. All right, now, if you've watched TikTok, or if you like TikTok, you might have seen this next blush, of course, this Tarte Energy blush. And the idea behind this, Tarte's been doing a few products like this. It is, as I mentioned in the intro, a little bit like one of those pH balanced lipsticks that is supposed to become your own unique shade of pink based on the pH balance of your skin. And the question becomes, is that a little bit silly? Here's a Wayne Goss number 10 we're going to use for this one. Is that a little bit silly? And I think it might be. Let's try it on and see. It's a real bubblegum pink. The reason I think this might be, and it's very pretty and it applies very well, the whole premise behind it, however, might be a bit of a marketing gimmick, and I'm sure you've gone there before I have. Let me exaggerate this a little bit so you can see it on the skin. And that is that skin tone is going to change the shade of your blush anyway and how it looks on you. So I think that the pH balancing lipsticks might be a better gimmicky shtick than this is, because I mean, of course it's going to look different on different skin tones, right? But I will say it's a very bubblegum pink and it is very pretty. If you like a bubblegum pink blush, I think this would be a super pretty one for you. I'm trying to exaggerate it so you can see the shade on me, although according to their marketing, it would be a different shade on you anyway. If you like a pink bubblegum type blush and you want one that applies nicely, I would recommend this. If you are looking for something that is pH balanced to change based on your skin tone, they have some liquid products, don't they, Tarte, that they say does that too. And with powder, I feel that that's not really achievable. Is it a pretty blush, however? It appears to be. In terms of formula, though, this Too Faced is much more interesting to those of you who battle against textured skin and larger pores. Let's take these off and come back and try on these very basic Bobbi Brown Jones Road blushes. Stay right there. Okay, there's nothing wrong with a basic blush. And remember, Bobbi Brown is our minimalist. She brought minimalist pretty to her namesake brand back in the day, and she brings that same aesthetic to Jones Road. So this one has been with me for about a month or so, but it's still a relatively new release for Bobbi Brown, and they're just small little everyday blushes. So let's just see how they apply. Here is the Rosy shade, a Wayne Goss number 3. This is just as I predicted, a little bit of poof in the air, just a little bit. As predicted, this is a very consistently easy, I'm just trying to exaggerate it for you to see the shade a bit more. Very pretty, very reliable, kind of old-fashioned, and I shouldn't say that, because what's wrong with old-fashioned? Blush from Bobbi Brown, Jones Road. It applies very pretty. Remember with the Too Faced, I said it's kind of like a pigmented eyeshadow where it's going to be the most where you first set your brush. No, not with this. This just disperses beautifully. Clean brush. Let's go to this Peachy shade, which kind of looks pink in the compact. Yes, but it's very peachy on the skin, and I'm sure, sorry Tarte, would look different on a different skin tone, right? Marketing, schmarketing. And yes, this applies just and disperses beautifully. I'm just overdoing it for you to see. This would be pretty on the eyes as well. I love blush on the eyes, you know. And very, very pretty. If you are looking for a reliable kind of everyday blush, Bobbi Brown does know how to do it right over at Jones Road. And there's 2 shades, the Rosy shade and the Peach shade. Very pretty, very reliable, fairly affordable for high-end makeup. This Tarte is a pretty, pretty bubblegum pink, but a very silly marketing gimmicky concept. Fall for it if you like. I know I do, but you know. And this Too Faced is our most interesting. This is going to be great. It really does lay on the skin like a little extra layer. The shades look super pretty. Darn it about the scent, but it does go away quickly. I need to know what you think. These are all relatively new, but because I didn't get to them, they've been on the market for, oh gosh, a few weeks, which to me feels late, but they're still new. So some of you might have experimented with these products, and I would love to hear your thoughts down below. So definitely tell me. It's what makes us a community. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And if you haven't already done so, make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Come say hi over on TikTok and Instagram too. And don't forget that you can support this channel by becoming a member or giving a super thanks. I give a huge super thanks myself to the lovely people at Rose Forever who provided me with this beautiful bouquet for my set. Don't forget to use my code below and my link below for $25 off your purchase for Valentine's Day or any day. See you all in the next video. Bye-bye.